Hey everybody, back here again, continuing on with the history of Middle Earth. This is volume 11 of the history of Middle Earth, and it is, it is entitled The War of the Jewels, the Later Silmarillion Part 2, which is a continuation from my previous video of Morgoth's Ring. It is a continuation. The Morgoth's Ring stopped at a thieves' quarrel, pretty much with the story, and then it went on, as I went to say, with the debate between Finrod and Andreth, which talked about, death and life and important matters such as that. But this one continues on from that point. Christopher Tolkien wrote this, and he put all his father's notes together. And as you know, this book pretty much continued on with what Tolkien wrote about, Turin, Turambar and his story, the children of Hurin, comes back to life greatly at this point. And let's see what we got here is part one. You have the Grey Annals here. They cover a lot of pages. Then, of men. Men start to come back at this point, and we start to see them evolve, and then you have the Siege of Angband, then you have a description of Beleriand and its realms, then you have Turgon, Gondolin. Concerning dwarves, the coming of men into the west, then you have the ruin of Beleriand and the fall of Fingolfin, who was slain by Morgoth himself, and then it wraps up here with the last chapters as well, and then we had the part 3, the Wanderings of Hurin, which is the chapter of Narn I Hin Hurin or something like that. And in this that we see in the Silmarillion, this book introduces that greatly. It's a pretty big theme of this book. Let's see what else we have, and then we have part 4 here, the Quindi and the Eldar. Then you have of the Ents and Eagles. It explains, it's only two pages, but it's got some pretty neat little details about them, how they played a part, and then you have the Tale of Years. Then also you had the foreword and everything by Christopher Tolkien, but yeah, as I said, this plays a great part with the children of Hurin. If you guys want to, you can stop and read that, and pause the video. But it says, right here, a chief element in the War of the Jewels is a major story of the Middle Earth, now published for the first time. A continuation of the great saga of Turambar and his sister Nienor, the children of Hurin the Steadfast. This is the tale of the disaster that overtook the forest people of Brethil. Let's continue on. Hurin came among them after his release from long years' captivity in Angband, the fortress of Morgoth. The uncompleted text of the Grey Annals, the primary record of the War of the Jewels, is given in full. The geography of Beleriand is stated in detail with the redrawings of the final state of the map. And a long essay on the names and relations of all peoples of Middle-earth shows yet more clearly than any writing yet published the close connection between language and history in Tolkien's world. The text also provides new information, including some knowledge of divine powers in the Valar. Yes, that reminds me. This book is a huge point in the histories of Middle-earth. It explains a lot of the languages and how they all have their similar connections that lead up into the later years, such as the Lord of the Rings. And then you also have, like it says here, some essays of names, and then also you had the final version of the map, when it wasn't being edited anymore, which is pretty much this in a sense, and pretty much get this at this point that Christopher's writing about. And then the Grey Annals I think it was like, what was it, 100 something pages almost? Yeah, about 170 pages. That's pretty much the War of the Jewels, how it explains, it's getting to this point where the wars start to break out between the elves and men against Morgoth. Then you have Gondola in here too, which is an awesome chapter in the published Silmarillion, and how that story came to be played out. But yeah, the War of the Jewels is a really interesting book. I haven't got into it as much yet as Morgoth's Ring, because I was kind of working on that between it being part one out of this. But I can't wait to get into the deeper chapters of this later. But so far from what I've read, it's an awesome read. It's basically just a continuation. It doesn't talk so much anymore about Morgoth. It talks more about the peoples of Beleriand, its different regions, the people that belong to those regions, and how they translate into later works that Tolkien did. Well, not later, in a sense of in order, but it translates into the later ages of Middle Earth, like when the Lord of the Rings developed and Numenor, and all of that. But yeah, with this pretty much sadly brings to an end the Tales of the Elder Days. This is it. And the next book that we have is volume 12, The Peoples of Middle Earth, which is going to wrap up the histories of Middle Earth. But yeah, this is going to be it. This is where the writings of Tolkien in the Elder Days were drawing to a close, and everything was not yet finished up, because he died before the Silmarillion was published. But he got a great deal done. And it's just kind of sad, he worked his whole entire life on this whole other secondary universe, but it came to an end. But yeah, guys, that's it. And if you didn't know, the histories of Middle Earth are written in such a way that it starts out with the Book of Lost Tales, which was the first work of Tolkien's life, and then it goes on, it shifts into the Lord of the Rings. So it's kind of like a very, very in-depth a biography of Tolkien's life, in a way that it goes in exact order, of Tolkien's lifespan. These books go in order of the works he did, the Lord of the Rings, and it switches back to the Elder Days, and the War of the Jewels wraps it up. So only got one more, and that's the Peoples of Middle Earth. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.